Join me in welcoming John Mack. Hey, John, how you doing today?
I'm good, Steve. How about you?
I'm really good, thanks. First off, tell us a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Yeah, so I'm 34. I'm a father of two. Um, I do blue collar work. Um, I love to write. I've been writing for a very, very long time, and I just recently, started kind of putting myself out there with it and allowing my work to help other people that are kind of going through similar things that I've gone through or I am going through. And, I love being able to help others. That's what's one of my greatest life passions is helping other people. So it's been something that I've thoroughly enjoyed doing. And it's definitely been a good way for me to kind of, mediate everyday's life challenges.
And your book is called Ravens of Desolation. Love that name. Really cool cover, too, actually. Um, and it's just you bearing your soul via poetry of all the kind of things good stuff, falling in love, deeply painful things. All of those just kind of bear it out there. How long ago does this, what kind of time frame in your life does the poetry cover?
I'm sorry. I think we may have cut out there a little bit.
Yeah, I was asking, yeah, how far back in your life does the poetry cover for you? I mean, how far back do we go?
Oh, um, honestly, it goes back to when I was a early teenager. When I was young, I had a very rough life growing up. Both my parents were disabled, and my dad was an alcoholic, and he wasn't always the kindest person. And love him dearly. He definitely is a big factor in the man I became today because even though we didn't have the best relationship, a lot of what I saw and what he did though reflects how I am today. He always was there no matter what, even though, behind closed doors things weren't great, but in public everything was always fine, which is pretty typical. Um, but I mean, it definitely helped cope and, kind of form my writing. So I write about everything. I write about life, love, death, suicide, you name it. I basically have written about it at some point in time. And my pretty much my entire life has just been about pain. Um, you know, I was married for 10 years. Then in the last 16 years, I've been with two people, and I've never really found the love or the connection that I've been looking for, and that also goes into my writing. So there's a lot of factors that go behind it, and I really hope that the people that get to read it, the audience, that they can relate to it and that it can help them and their journey as well.
I totally love that. Sometimes in the sharing of the realness of our lives, we can both empower ourselves the most, but we also help the others the most.
Absolutely.
And I really do hope that for you. Do you have a favorite poem out of all the ones that you included in there?
Oh, yeah, I'd say my favorite poem. It's called Heartbreak. It's fairly long. It's on my social media, my TikTok, Ravens of Desolation. I think I'm up to a little over 150,000 views on it. Um, and that's probably one of the most meaningful ones that I've ever written. It captures a lot into it. There's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of emotion that went behind there, and it really gives. I think it really gives a window into my soul.
We appreciate how just open you've been with all of the things in your writing. So, what's next for you now that your book's out? Are you going to continue writing more poetry, or are you thinking other things, or what would you like to do next?
I'm definitely going to keep writing. Since the manuscript, everything had been sent over, and the book was in the works of being published and released. I've probably wrote another 2 dozen poems. So I would expect within the next couple of months, I'll probably be ready to launch another book.
That's amazing. So, talk to us a little bit about your day to day life. I mean, do you have a regular time that you do writing, or does it just kind of like now, you're in the car and something hits you and you have to pull off to the side of the road and write something? How does it work for you?
Yeah, so like I said, I do work full time, and a lot of the times though throughout the day while I'll be working, something will hit me, and like I might be talking to somebody, and they'll say something that kind of just it resonates with me, and then I'll just remember it, and then like when I take a lunch or if I take a couple minute break, I'll pull up the phone and I'll jot down my thoughts on it, and then when I get home, I have a book that I write in pretty frequently, so I'll do that. So yeah, my writing could be at any point in time. I mean, I don't sleep a lot. I average about 2 to 3 hours a day. Um, so I mean, I just I write all the time. Any time that something's going on, whether it's with my life or my kids. I'm a single dad. I have my kids. 50% of the time, sometimes a little bit more, and so if there's something going on with them, I try to encompass that into it too. I mean, my oldest son, he's an amazing little man. He's 9 years old and he's very wise for his years. But he's a typical 9 year old. He has anger issues. He doesn't know how to exactly get his emotions out. So while we do various activities together, a lot of conversations, so I can help him mold and learn how to express himself in a productive way. So like recently I just got him a little journal for him to write in as well, and I'm hoping that something will come out of it. I mean, he's incredibly smart, very talented, and I think that it's going to help him too. So who knows, maybe the lineage will carry on, and he'll he'll take over, as an author like me.
Oh, I totally love that. And tell us, where does the phrase, the name, the whatever, Ravens of Desolation, where did that come from for you?
uh Honestly, I'm not really sure. I kind of just like the name, but I also resonate a lot with like Nordic deities and whatnot. Um, so I kind of I'm bald, big beard. I'm a bigger guy, covered in tattoos, and I get told I look like a Viking a lot, and I guess it just kind of ravens are a big part of the Viking culture. Um, and I just kind of one day I was just thinking about it, and it was one of those ones that just hit me, and I was like, "Wow, Ravens of Desolation, I love it." And then I've just kind of stuck with it since then. So
Well, it is an amazing phrase. I love it. Originally, when I heard it, I thought immediately of, the desolation of smog. And I was like, yeah, I think Tolkien would be okay with that one.
yeah,
I love it. So, what can people do to interact with you? I mean, obviously, get the book, and I will put the link for the book here in the link in the post. But what are some other things that people can find on your website, or those kind of things that they can do to interact with you?
yeah. So I mean, they can always email me at ravens of desolation at gmail.com. TikTok, they can find me. There's a Facebook page that I started recently. I haven't used it too much yet, but I definitely will be in the near future. Kind of getting my writing out a little bit more. Because ultimately my goal is to help as many people as possible. Because everyday life, the challenges that we face, the trials and tribulations, they are all just beating us down. And there has to be an outlet for some people, whether it be writing or horseback riding, which is where I'm at currently. I'm sitting in my truck. I'm out at the farm. I'm going to take the horses out here shortly. Um, it's just there has to be something for everybody. And I'm hoping that with my work, with my poetry, that people can use it instead of turning to something that's darker. Um, you know, Admittedly, I still struggle with my demons. There's a lot of times where life just really just wants to kick you, and every day I wake up and I continuously find reasons to stay around, and my writing is one of the biggest ones, apart from my kids. Obviously, my kids are the number one factor that keep me here, but ultimately the writing is really what it grounds me. It keeps me focused and allows me to remember that no matter what, there's always a better way. You know, I can put those feelings out on a piece of paper. I can go outside. I can go to the gym. I can do whatever. But for me, writing it down has always been one of the best ways for me to cope with everything that's going on, because then at some point in time, you're more than likely going to experience that same thing again in a different capacity, but the message will still be there. So being able to go back to my book or my journal or my phone and just kind of going, hey, like, yeah, you've been through this, but it's okay. This is how you felt about it before. And then I can, reflect on that. I can say, yeah, I still feel that way. Or, you know, granted, yeah, at this moment, I feel like crap, but I know I'm going to get better and ultimately everything's going to be okay.
I absolutely love that. Well, the book is called Ravens of Desolation. It is available today in ebook form for free on Amazon. The link is both in the description, up in the description, or down in the comments, either way. And I do hope that you'll get it. John, thanks so much for your writing and thanks for spending some time with us here on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.